Hey guys, Rob here from the Art of Wax. It's another month come and gone. Let's take a look at the records I picked up in the month of July 2021. In July, we saw Record Store Day drop number 2 for 2021, so that's where we're going to start. An album not originally on my hit list for Record Store Day, but one I couldn't pass up and I saw it was still available, was the Ramones Triple J Live at the Wireless. A really fun live album by the Ramones. Limited to 13,000 copies, although a friend of mine has copy number 13,808, so not too sure what happened there, but anyway, still a great listen, and like I say, you can't ever have enough Ramones albums. Number 2 on my hit list, and one that I had to go south of the border for, was John Prine's Stay Independent, the Oh Boy Years. This album I don't think crossed into Canada. Again, I'm covering, it's a big country and I'm only covering a very small part of it, but every store I reached out to didn't have it and didn't even see it on their order list. So eventually I had to place an order down to Eroding Winds in the US and have this bad boy shipped to me. Comes in a nice solid red. Nice compilation of John Prine's music that was compiled by independent record store owners and put together by Old Boy Records. Another John Prine album that we scored during Record Store Day was John Prine Live at the Other End. This is one of the better put together box sets I've seen in quite a few years. The music quality is great. There's some really nice add-ins. If you haven't already, check out my quick flip where I flip through what you get in the packaging. But this is a great sounding album. And super stoked that I was able to grab one up very quickly. Last month I did miss talking about this one. This is Jason Isbell and a few of the boys from the Drive Thru Truckers. They put out a box set from an album from a live set they did back in 2014. It's a very cool listen if you haven't checked that out. My last pickup from Record Store Day, drop number 2, was Beastie Boys' Aglio Olio. This album brings back a lot of fond memories from rocking out to the Beasties. They brought a really cool punk sound when they wanted to. This one came on clear vinyl. It's nice to see the Beasties drop some of their punk stuff on both this year and last year on Record Store Day, with Some Old Bullshit dropping last year. On to some new albums and some reissues. We'll start off with new, and this is Uncle Woe, Don't Look Down. This dude is a Canadian doom metal master, and if you haven't checked him out, please do. His Bandcamp page, you can check out 2 or 3 of the albums he's dropped already. He is a one-man band putting together some pretty awesome music. He's an all-around good dude as well. He knows how much I hate to pay for shipping, so allowed me to drive over to his place a couple hours from here and score this when I was in the area. Really nice pearlescent purple vinyl. So, up next we have Boris No. This album was originally released in 2020. It sold out super fast and prices just skyrocketed on Discogs. So I thought I had kind of missed out, but luckily they turned it around and got a reissue out just 1 year later. The album comes with a flexi disc as well as a really nice black and red merge. I don't know if you can see it there. It looks kind of like blood. It's pretty stellar album. If you like Boris when they're as hard as they can be, that's one of the albums you should definitely check out. A reissue that was a little longer in the making is Opeth Blackwater Park. This is the 20th anniversary edition. I am a fairly recent convert to Opeth, only about 2 years into my collection and fandom of them. But this album is, as you know, if you're a fan, a masterpiece. Pretty sweet mixture of clear, white, and black vinyl from Music for Nations. Sounds spectacular, and just super happy to be able to pick that up. It took a while to show up, so I wasn't sure if it was lost in transit, but I'm glad it finally showed up. To close things out on the new and reissue side of things, we have an album that I really didn't think I'd ever get to own on vinyl. The Mars Volta, Deloused in the Comatarium. When this album was finally announced as a reissue in that box set last year, I just couldn't justify paying the price they were asking, and I thought, fuck, I've missed out again. But they came around and they have reissued them singly. Again, a bit higher than I would like to have paid for it. It does sound great. It's a really nice package, but I would have liked to have seen a bit more collector-friendly price tag on some of these reissues that the Mars Volta put out. That said, there was no way I wasn't going to pick it up. It is, to this day, one of my favorite albums, and has some incredible memories associated with it. So if you haven't already check out the Mars Volta, Deloused in the Comatarium. Okay, let's get on to some used vinyl here. Some stuff that I picked up while crate digging over the course of the month. Start off with a pair of albums from Rainbow. If you remember from the last couple of months, I have been kind of filling up my collection of Rainbow. I was only really familiar with the early Dio stuff, but I've been kind of working my way through some of their deeper catalog. Some great albums there. Straight Between the Eyes has one of the worst album covers of all time, but it's still funny. And then you have Difficult to Cure. Both I picked up from Brian's record option here in town. He always seems to have some nice hidden gems in the metal side for decent prices. Special thanks to Gary at Zap Records for ordering this one in for me. This is the Tedeschi Trucks Band, Let Me Get By. This was the last album by the Tedeschi Trucks Band that I didn't own, studio album that is. So when I saw it started to pop up on some other websites and stores, I reached out to Gary and he ordered it. It took a while to get in, but it has arrived and it is spectacular. I still think Something Else Records is going through that huge collection I told you about that I picked up, and a few of the albums that I snagged this month from them include the Velvet Underground's Loaded, Wipers, Youth of America. I'll apologize to Bob again. A friend of mine has been looking for this album as well, but I had to snap it up when I saw it. I also picked up this Tom Waits bootleg. I'm not really a bootleg dude, but if I'm going to grab one, it's going to be a Tom Waits one. So this is Fast Women and Slow Horses, a nice live album from Australia, I believe. Sounds pretty cool. Continuing on my jazz kick, I did also find John Coltrane's Ballads. The cover is in shitty condition, but the record is in great shape. It sounds awesome, and I couldn't pass it up on an under $10 pickup. I did make a quick trip out of town last month for the first time in a while to a couple shops that I'm a huge fan of. One in Ottawa, which is Vertigo Records, where I picked up the original Fuzz album. It was the only one I was missing. I have Fuzz 2 and 3. This is my favorite Fuzz album, and it's always eluded me, so I was super happy to pick that up at Vertigo. As well as just an album that I've admired since I was a kid. Van Morrison's TV Sheets. I think when I first heard it, this is the album that kind of got me into listening to Van Morrison. At the time, I didn't realize it was a compilation. I thought it was just a standard album, but still, it holds a warm place in my heart. So I picked that one back up at Vertigo on my quick trip into Ottawa. Even more important than getting to go to Ottawa was going to see Tim at Zap Records in Coburg. It had been since December that I had been able to swing by there. So I got to hang out, spend some time, and check out some stuff. He always has a great collection of metal, garage rock, psych, all that kind of shit coming in on a regular basis. For me, I picked up 3 things from Tim. I picked up the New York Dolls, In Too Much Too Soon. Been becoming more and more of a Dolls fan, and I couldn't pass up this original pressing at a great price. A little bit of Black Sabbath for you. Never Say Die. Again, original Canadian pressing of this album. Spectacular shape. I believe the last of the Ozzy years. So nice to add that. Finally, last but not least, we have Zappa, Them or Us. I have a rule, and that is I never turn down sub $20 Zappa albums if they're not already in my collection. This was sub $20 and definitely worth every penny. So, yeah, that's it. That's all I got for this month. Thankfully for my wallet, it was a bit slower month than the previous month, and we'll see as things start to wind down for 2021. Thanks again for watching. If you own or picked up any of these albums, use the comment section. Let me know what you think.